is Josh. Welcome to Roscoe's World. Today we're back at it again. Uh, one of many days that we're going to be working on this project. And so today we are going to actually start using Adobe Animate. So where we left off yesterday was we finally finished that running scene of Roscoe running across the hallway. And here's where we're at right now. In a small town in the desert called Henderson lives a boy and his dog, Josh and Roscoe. Every day when Josh came home from work, Roscoe was always there to greet him with a wagging tail and happy bark. One day when Josh came home from work, Roscoe was nowhere to be seen. So the scene we're going to be working on today is going to be this scene right here where it says one day when Josh came home. So this is Adobe Animate. It's sort of like After Effects in the sense that it's kind of structurally the same as After Effects. You have your layers here, you have your time frame, what is it called? I can't remember the name of it. But anyways, you have your library here, you have your tools here. So it's pretty much the same thing, a little different. Now, I was gonna use an old file for the characters because I did do some animation a few years ago. When I first started Roscoe's World, but I haven't touched Animate in a long time, and I think it'd be best to just go ahead and start over. So what we're gonna do is we have to go to Illustrator, and we have to break this character up so because every part of this character is a movable part. So you have to take the hands and the arm, the forearm, the upper arm, the body, the neck, the head. All of this gets its own layer because it's all moving. So let's see, where's my old files of this? So these are the old files. And I may just use these because my character hasn't really changed all that much. Alright, so I'm going to have to change these. I want a lighter color on my shirt here, not so black and dark. So I'm going to have to change this. Okay, so what we just did is we changed the color of the shirt to not be so dark, and we're separating it out by shirt design. So we have one shirt with Roscoe's World, one shirt with Roscoe's Dogs, and a side shirt with Roscoe's Dogs. This one right here will be the shirt we'll be using for when he's in Roscoe's World, but we'll keep this one just in case. Now we're back in Animate. So the first thing we're going to put on is a background image. Now, I said this the other day, but for some reason, when you use scene 1 in Animate, you can't hear any sound, which is fine because we're not actually talking in this scene. It's the voiceover, so we're going to go ahead and keep the scene 1. But if you were to do your own project and you use Animate, you'll have to start on scene 2 because for whatever reason it just doesn't render the sound for scene 1. It doesn't start until scene 2. I don't know why. Could never figure it out. Okay, so with Animate, you have to, in order to make everything flow together, you have to connect basically the dots. So the arm goes to the forearm goes to the upper arm, and the upper arm connects to the body. Everything connects to the body. So, your upper torso. So everything will have to be connected. Okay, so now we have all of the images put in there to create the Josh character, and you see all right here, it put all the picture version of these over here in your library. Okay, so you have to take all the images and convert them into symbols so that they can be messed with. So right click and go down to convert to symbol. Conversion, alright, we're going to call these both legs. And there's only one human, so it's fine. Both legs. And see how over here it changed this into a symbol rather than picture. Okay, so now that we got all of these into symbols, we're going to go ahead and select them all. And we're going to right click and you're going to go to distribute to layers. All right, and now it took all of these limbs and parts and put them all on its own layer right here. So now we can start connecting. So what we're going to do, go ahead and build them out. So we have the legs, you take the body. All right, so this arrow tool, let's see back. This arrow tool here will help you move them. But if you want to change the size, you got to go one down here. Okay, now it's very important before you start connecting these parts that you have everything that you want to change before you start connecting, because once you start connecting everything, it kind of gets a little confusing to unconnect it all to make it work. Because if you delete one part, like let's say you delete this upper arm, but you've already connected the hand and the forearm, you delete all the entire arm. And same thing. If you wanted to change this chest piece here, and you deleted the chest, you would delete everything. It's all connected to the chest. All right. So now that that's all done, you can kind of see that this arm here is kind of weird looking, and that's because these arms are above the layer, the body layer. So in order to make it look more realistic, we need to take this. Is it the upper left arm? What is this? Yeah. Yeah, so we need to take the upper and lower arm and we're going to drop it below the body. Okay. Alright, so now we have the character built out. So now we have to start connecting the dots, connecting all the pieces. And we're literally going to start connecting the dots here. So we take, you see this little white dot here? You need to connect it to where you want it to go. So you take it, and this is basically the rotation point. So if I move my legs, if I rotate my legs, wherever that dot is where the center point of a rotation would take place. So over here, la la la, right? Or if I want it down here, la la la. Okay, so it's basically a pin that makes it the center point for a rotation. So we're going to go ahead and have it right about here. We have to do it to everything. Every part has its own pin. Alright, so now that those center points are all connected, the next thing we're going to do is to connect the body parts. Alright, so everything has to be connected to the body. Okay? The legs go to the body, the hand goes to the forearm goes to the upper arm goes to the body. The head goes to the neck to the body, and vice versa for this other arm. So what we're going to do is we are going to take this little drawing line here and go right to the neck. Alright, you see that? And then we're going to take the neck and go right to the body. Alright, so now the face is connected to the neck, which is now connected to the body. Alright, now we're going to take this hand and connect it to the lower part, and this lower part connects to the upper part, and this upper part connects to the body. See? Alright, and now we're going to, where's the next one? Alright, this hand goes to the lower part goes to the upper part goes to the body. And now this, as legs are just simple, legs to the body. Alright, so now what happened there, if I want to move the upper arm, it moves everything with it. You see? So before I would just move just the upper arm, but now that they're connected, I'm moving the entire arm. So if I want to move just the lower part in the hand, now I can move the hand and the lower arm. Alright, so that's basically it. Now if you want to move the whole character, you need to move him from his chest, so it moves everything together because it's all connected. Alright, so now there you go. Now we have our animated character here. So that's basically the the basics of how to connect a character and animate. It gets a little bit more confusing than that, and we're about to get into it because we kind of have to. It's kind of complicated, and it takes forever, but it's got to be done. Okay, so along with your images here, or with your character here, if you want to change his hand, let's say I want to change this hand to this hand. What if I want both of these to have these hands? Well, I need to set it up to where I can quickly change from one hand to another rather than having to go into the library, set it up, reconnect the things. It would take way too long to do all that. Because if you change one thing in here, it gets all screwed up. It's like spaghetti. The lines just kind of go everywhere. What we're going to do is you double click on this hand. All right, now what you're going to do is you're going to get real close and you have to connect. You have to put all of the hands right where this hand is so that when you change the hand in motion, it will connect to the same spot. In order to make this one hand do multiple different things, we're going to put them all on one layer. All right, this forward hand, the hand layer. All right, so what we're gonna do is we have 6 hands, so we're gonna go out 6, we're gonna add 6 spaces. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We add a little more, but that's if we wanna add more hands, so it's fine. All right, now you see these little dots, these are the keyframes, just like in Adobe After Effects, those little square pegs, those were keyframes, and animate the little black circles. All right, so we have one picture of the hand here, and then we move over one, here's another one. So now we're going to move to this one. All right, this blank keyframe. So this is a blank keyframe. So when I bring something in, it's going to add the keyframe. All right, so the palm hand. All right, so watch this little spot down here. Bloop, and now in black. Now, in order to, you want to align everything up to where it's pretty close to the same as the original hand. In order to do that, we're going to hit these little 2 circles here to see what the last few frames were. This hand is a little big. Alright, so now we can see the 2 hands that kind of connect here. So now we have the next frame is here. We're going to enter a blank keyframe. And we're going to go the pointer finger. Alright. Move the center dot. Alright, now we got to see what the last fingers were. Alright, that looks good. Alright, turn that off. Alright, so now we have all 5 frames here. So what we're going to do, as you can tell, see how it moves around? Now when we go back out, here are all your frames. So if I wanted to go out a few frames, I could just pick this picture to change in the thing without having to go in and resize everything and pin it just right and make make sure everything's perfect. All I have to do is that. Now, because I deleted this hand here, we're moving this over. So if we ever want to just pick a different hand, now all we have to do is just click this little button. And voila. Alright, so Josh is pretty much complete. There's not much more for him here. Alright, so we need to make the background for Josh. I need 3 seconds of frames. So we're going to highlight all of these. Everything. And we are going to oops. Nope. Whoa, what did I do? Alright, highlight and bring it out. We're going to do 3 seconds of frames. So now we've built out our timeline here, so now we can start adding keyframes. Alright, so another thing that I forgot to mention is you have to set this, because you have 2 different ones, we have to set this part up here to forgot how to do that. Alright, so we have to change it to one at a time. Alright. So now they won't change. We're going to add a new layer. It's going to be at the very back. We're going to call this the background layer. To raise it up. Right about there. Now, when you want to change the size of your character, you have to change the body because all the parts are connected to the body. If you change this hand, it's just going to change the hand. If you want to change just the pants, you have to change just the pants. But if you want to change all of it together, you have to change the body to lower it there. Same goes for if you want to move them. You have to grab them from the chest, not any other parts or limbs. Otherwise, you're moving just the things that are connected to that part that you're moving. All right, so another thing that's really irritating about this is if you, with the body selected, if you bring in another part, it's for whatever reason connected to this body until you put it on its own layer. So if you already create a layer like this, you have to have that layer selected in order for it to go to that layer. We're gonna go ahead and add a new layer, car. All right, now see how that keyframe went from circle to that. Move Josh back in front of said car. All right, so for these 3 seconds, what kind of animation do I want to put? We're now going to start the animation process, all right? But everything I've read online, I can't seem to get a straight answer on how many frames out should you put a keyframe. Some people say it's a couple, some people say it's every other one. No one seems to have like a direct number of how many keyframes out you're supposed to go to make it look believable. If for whatever reason maybe you know this answer, like for sure because you've done this before, please let me know in the comments because honestly I don't know. In the past when I did some old animation, I did every couple and it looked alright, but it was still kind of blotchy. And maybe it's because I didn't add enough keyframes in between my main keyframes. I'm not sure. We're going to take the upper and lower, go out 3 spaces. And now we're going to change those. Let's see, so. Alright, now we're going to use this little thing so we can see where where this keyframe was. Alright, so now this blue is where the last keyframe was. So now we just need to move it up to where it is now. Alright, we're going to change this right hand to my... nope. 3 more. We're going to add another keyframe. Alright, but this time we're going to move him a little further up. So, move him up. Alright. So what I'm going to do is we're going to get the basic motion of it and then we'll go back in and tweak it to make it look more believable. Like see like right here where this thing here. So this arm is going to have to go up a little bit, but for right now let's just get the basic motion of the where is the type move, and then we'll go from there. So blue is where the hand was, green is where the hand will be in the next frame. So you see this? So blue is where the hand was. This was first position. We're currently in second position, and now we're in the third position. 2, 3. Now we're going to go up with this arm a little bit here, and we're going to bring this hand up here. Nope, wrong button. Oh, come on. Up a little bit. Like so. Alright, now we have a little hand motion here. 1, 2, 3. Now we're going to move it up again. here. Bring him up. Bring it here. Alright, and then we're going to change this into here. Alright, so now we're going to turn this off, and we'll go back down here. So now we have the arm going up and down. Like, what? Where the hell is he? What the hell? Now, obviously, we're going to need to change this arm down a bit. So, alright, we're going to bring this up here. We want it to connect here. Here. And finally here. Okay, so where is he? Alright. So now we have this. What? Where is he? Now, the bad news is I only did 15 frames to do that gesture. I still have all these frames to go. So, I need to create more motion for him because I don't have a clue. For Josh, you know how we did with the hands? We're going to have to do the same thing with the faces and the eyes. I was really hoping to avoid that right now, but I don't see how I gotta set it up the way it needs to be set up, because I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna have him search in front of the car, maybe the back of the car, and hopefully that will take up the 3 seconds I need to animate. Alright, yeah, so I gotta do that. Don't really want to, but I have to. I'm trying to not be lazy. Alright. Let's do it. Dang it. That sucks. Okay, so it took a minute, but we got it done. Alright, so we had to add all the faces for Josh. And they all have to look the same. And so I had to go back through and make them look like all these other characters that I have with all their other faces. Alright, so, and this is something that I should have done a long time ago. I just always put it off and got lazy and, you know, just didn't really want to do it. But now I really don't have a choice. Now, really, if you do this correctly, this will be the only time you have to do this, because you just use the same character setup for all the other future episodes. So all of this will just be saved, and you just grab from here and it's all set up perfectly. So if you set it up perfectly once, it will be perfect forever, or at least as long as you have this file. And so here's all the character faces. And we accidentally put a keyframe there. That was an accident. But anyways, so here's all the character faces. We got them all. So we're still good. So that part is done. Now we have the lips. We do have the lips and we do have the pants. I will have to create a character, a side view character of Josh, because there'll be some scenes where I'll need a side view character, like this scene here where I'm gonna look behind the car, look in front of the car, look. Maybe I can make it work. I don't know, but it's coming along, and we'll have to, you know, as long as the character itself still works. That's all we needed to do. Alright, so the last thing I need to do is put the lips on. All the lips for the keyframes here. This part is very important because this is how you're going to get your character to talk when you put in the lines. And so this next part is very difficult, and I may hold off until tomorrow because it's kind of a long process to get it to work. It took me forever to figure out how to do it, and if I struggle just remembering this, it'll take a while. So I'm not going to do that. Not really sure what else there is to do here. So I think I'm going to go ahead and take a break from this today. I think we accomplished a lot. Yeah, I'm going to take a break from here because I got to do the lips, and the lips take a while. So all right, everyone, that's it for today. Thanks for checking out my videos. I appreciate everything you do, watching it, everything. Please consider following, help me build my channel. I've got, 29 followers. So please, if you feel the need, you want to watch some more of this, or hey, you just want to help out a fellow creator, please consider hitting the follow button. And of course, if you don't want to wait for this episode to come out, you can always watch, or you can always buy my book, Roscoe's World, Volume 1, at roscoesworld.store or roscoeworld.com, and get your book today. All right, thank you so much, everyone. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.